Allow me to tell you a tale, my friends, of the most expensive television show ever made that alienated and repeatedly disrespected a huge, built-in fanbase, desecrated the legacy of one of the greatest storytellers of all time, and did virtually everything wrong, only to reap what they sowed and bomb out hard. That's right. I'm Troy from Marks on TV, and today I'm doing an autopsy on the surprisingly still alive, but on life support, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime Video. Before we begin, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to be notified whenever we post brand new videos. Now, on with the story. All of the articles that I'm referencing today in this video are linked down in the video description. Now let's start with part of an article from Forbes, which is shockingly telling the true story of the frauds of Prime at this time. The Rings of Power was a massive flop that most viewers gave up on. Amazon's Lord of the Rings drama, The Rings of Power, was a flop. Not only was it snubbed almost entirely during award season, it turns out that a mere 37% of the people who started the show actually ended up finishing it. Just under 2/3 of The Rings of Power viewers quit watching the show before its finale, missing out on some truly ghastly television in the process. Damn, Forbes has taken the gloves off. Credit to Eric Kane for this one, by the way. The big question I have is, out of all the viewers who did stick around for all 8 episodes, how many were hate watching? I was definitely one of them. I finished the show because I was reviewing it, and because I have a macabre curiosity normally reserved for rubbernecking car wrecks on the side of the freeway, which is exactly what this series felt like. Holy cow! Eric Kane is expressing exactly how I felt, and I think many others did too. The biggest question we must ask ourselves in the aftermath of this travesty: why was The Rings of Power so unbelievably bad? The vast majority of people who started watching the show quit. Despite all the money and production values, some attrition is to be expected, of course. Casual viewers who may not be that interested in fantasy or Tolkien might be drawn in for an episode or two, but a good show, even a fantasy, will see increasing viewership over time. More people tuned in for the Game of Thrones Season 1 finale than for its premiere. That's what success looks like. Yes, but the major difference is that Game of Thrones stuck to the books, or the first few seasons at least, and was, good. J.D. Payne, Patrick McKay, and Jennifer Sulky repeatedly lied to us, gaslit us when we questioned their decision-making and how it matched up with the lore.
Go back to the book, go back to the book, go back to the book.
And then talked major crap about us when their crappy-looking trailers, interviews, and paid reviewer videos got ratioed into oblivion. Not only did the most expensive television show of all time suck, but it looked like crap. I remember seeing the first ever trailer during the 2022 Super Bowl, and my jaw dropped. No, not out of amazement and wonder at the beauty, but out of amazement and wonder at how much money was wasted on this thing. The absolute horse crap CGI, which, by the way, Avatar 2 proved is not the standard for modern films and shows, was right there in our faces for all to see. Now, let's get to some of the other travesties around the frauds of Prime. This from Variety. Peta condemns horse death on Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power set, exploiting animals for their art. Animal rights activists have condemned the death of a horse on the set of Prime Video's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. On March 21st, a horse suffered cardiac arrest ahead of rehearsals on the production of the fantasy streaming series. Amazon Studios released a statement confirming the situation on Sunday morning. Quote, "We are deeply saddened to confirm that a production horse died on 21st of March, an Amazon spokesperson said. Quote, "The incident took place in the morning whilst the horse was being exercised prior to rehearsals. The trainer was not in costume and filming had yet to commence. Both a veterinarian and a representative of the American Humane Association were present at the time. The independent necropsy has confirmed that the horse died of cardiac failure." End quote. Don't roast me in the comments if I pronounced necropsy wrong. Either way, that's obviously sad. I'm not blaming the Rings of Power, the creators, or the actors for this at all, but it's just another craptastic thing happening around this abomination. And also from Variety, there's another nail in this coffin. Fire breaks out on UK set of Amazon's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. A fire broke out on Monday on the UK sets of Amazon Studios' The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Plumes of smoke were seen billowing at Bray Studios in Windsor, where the second season of the Amazon Studios series is being filmed. Variety understands that an electrical fire broke out in the afternoon, local time, in a warehouse on the perimeter of the back lot. Again, this is not the fault of the showrunners, actors, or Amazon itself, but holy cow. Is this a metaphor for the entire show? I'm not saying no. I want to jump back real quick to the part where they were talking about no awards coming up for The Rings of Power. Through award season, they were pretty much snubbed by everything. Let's quickly go to an article here by Looper.com. Rings of Power has 0 nominations at this year's Golden Globes. At this point, it's no secret that The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power has been one of the most divisive television series of 2022, I can say that again, as evidenced by the stark contrast between the series' critical rating, 85%, and audience score, 39%, on Rotten Tomatoes. I'll get to that in another video. Although critics have lauded the series for its breathtaking visuals and epic scale of its story, fans online have ridiculed The Rings of Power for its absurd action sequences, poor writing, and numerous contradictions to J.R.R. Tolkien's source material.
Go back to the book, go back to the book, go back to the book.
Again, I'll get to that in a future video. Skipping ahead a bit in the article, in any case, the complete snubbing of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power certainly doesn't bode well for the series' prospects this coming awards season, and one has to wonder how the show will fare once the 2023 Emmy Awards announce their nominees. The Emmys don't come up until September, and something tells me they're going to get snubbed at the Emmys as well. But, you know, that's just me making predictions out loud. This is my first of 3 videos I'm going to be doing on The Rings of Power, but I've got 2 more chapters incoming. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you agreed with me, please comment below and let me know where I was spot on. If you disagree, also please comment down below and let me know why I'm wrong in your opinion. Just keep it civil. And please let me know if you watched Season 1 of The Rings of Power, what your favorite and least favorite parts were, and if you're going to be watching Season 2. Also, please share this video around to everyone you know, and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell to be notified every time we post brand new content. I've been Troy from Marks on TV, and we'll see you next time.